Trash Cinema 101.
Hi everyone. Good evening. Welcome to my delicious matinee extravaganza that is this live stream. We're broadcasting live from my studio, and by studio I mean my bedroom, with my cat making a special guest star appearance on my bed. Because if you don't have a cat in your live stream, are you even live streaming? That's the philosophical question I'm here to answer today. So, today's film is going to be House on Haunted Hill, the original, starring Vincent Price. By the way, before I get any further into the weirdness, let me know how my audio levels sound, how everything is for y'all. I'm playing with new things, as always, which, by the way, is all thanks to my peeps up on Patreon. I do want to acknowledge all of them for being there and sponsoring and making it awesome. So if you guys enjoy what I do and or want to just throw a few coins to your aforementioned Witcher, by all means you can. I made a link that says all the different places. You can either sponsor on Patreon, throw a coin into my chip jar, and failing that, you can follow me on all forms of social media and stalk me and share it to all your friends. Because sharing is caring. Unless it's the coronavirus, and then don't share, please. And that's the tea. Oh, I still have coffee, because it's still morning for me. A little ASMR for your nerves. But before we get started, as we get things going, I want to tell you guys a little backstory about this film. And I made, of all things, slides for it that I want to be able to share with you. So let me go ahead and pull some of that up. Let me just go ahead. Boop. Is magic working? Is magic working? It's not yet, but it will be soon. Look at that. Look at that. Anyway. Welcome to... Oop, there we are. Welcome to my presentation. So, I put together a few little factoids about this film. So, like I was saying, this film is done by the famous William Castle. He was famous for all sorts of gimmicks that he would do for his audiences. He would play with them, do all sorts of things to get his film promoted. One of which, most famously, was Emergo. That's right, this film used to have a quote-unquote technology. He would have a crew go around wherever it was playing, in various theaters, cause films weren't really released wide to just about anybody back in the day. They weren't at every single major theater out there. So to utilize that, he would have a crew go around with the film, and they would install this like pulley system inside the theater, where at a certain point in the film there's a floating skeleton. You'll see. Spoiler alert, it's towards the end. And a floating skeleton would float out over the audience on this rope and pulley system, and the audience would lose their shit. And by lose their shit, I mean laugh, because it was laughable. By the time they did this genre, it had already been done into the ground. The whole haunted house movie where things are actually not supernatural, and actually it's just a murder mystery plot, that is old school and had been done since the 1930s. And by the time this came out in 1959, filmed in 1958, people had seen it, and the floating skeleton was beloved by teenagers who would throw shit at it as they would see it float through their theater. But before we go any further, I want to give you some fun factoids about tonight's film. One, you're welcome, floating skeleton. William Castle understood viral marketing. Whenever you hear people trying to get word of mouth going about their film or try to promote their film, it all really comes from William Castle and all the ingenious weird-ass bullshit that he would do to promote his films. For example, before he did this, he had a movie called Macabre, where he sold $1,000 health insurance certificates in case you died because of fright going to see this film. It was very silly. Now, of course, no one was going to die, and of course, the film wasn't that scary, but they sold it, hopefully convincing people that, oh yeah, this is a real scary film. And yeah, it gimmicks galore. He also, when they came out with the film The Tingler, another film that he did with Vincent Price right after this one, they had this technology, quote unquote technology, that they called Percepto. At a certain time in the film, there's just this really bad rubber, I don't even know what to call it, face hugger squid thing creature. It looked like a silverfish, like one of those weird little insects. Anyway, it was supposed to latch onto your neck, and you would feel the electricity course through your veins. It wasn't. All they did was they hooked up these airplane de-icing mechanisms that vibrate really fast to the chair, and it made people think they were getting shocked. Remember, like, have you ever gone to a video game arcade and they have those things where you're supposed to, like, hold on to the two poles and it's gonna charge you, and all it is it vibrates really hard and fast? That's what this is. So anyway, people had vibrating chairs called Percepto, and they had rented people to dress up like nurses to have you sign away that you're okay with this happening in the theater. It was infamous. This led to all sorts of dumb, gimmicky marketing that you might have seen of other favorite cult films. For example, Psycho. He started the year after this, ended up putting this marketing scheme together where you had to come in and see the beginning of the film, and if you missed the beginning of the film, you missed the entire film. And they would not let you in. It was all just to make people talk about it. Imagine turning someone away, and then they go home and tell 20 of their friends, oh yeah, I got turned away from the theater because I was late. Ooh, like... This sort of thing worked. The Exorcist hired people to faint and to vomit and other things, or pretend that they were fainting and vomiting, and that led to people actually fainting and vomiting, and it made headlines about, oh, this is such a big, scary film. And that one was scary, especially for anyone that was really religious. I was raised by a Roman Catholic family, and ooh, they were not ready for The Exorcist at the time, but this still was all about getting the hype going about it. And of course, who can forget my favorite piece, the special shock insurance sold by the Orgy of the Living Dead. Cause, you know, if you're gonna copy someone, go ahead and copy someone fully, or the barf bags that would come with rentals of Blood Feast. People started making barf bags at certain different video rental services, and if you rented Blood Feast, they would give you a barf bag with it, which you probably won't vomit, but hey, it makes for a good story. 2. The house in the movie is a real Frank Lloyd Wright house. Now, Frank Lloyd Wright, you've probably heard the name before. He's done all sorts of, what's the word I'm looking for? All sorts of architecture and sculpture and art that had to do with nature and living in nature. He was most famous for the Guggenheim Museum, or also the Falling Water house. He had this idea about having things that look kind of organic and beautiful, or reminiscent of ruins in the middle of a forest. Well, for this one, for specifically the House on Haunted Hill, he looked at Mayan culture, specifically the carved rocks that they would put together on their different temples and art, and ended up putting it on the side of the house there, all the carved brick. And yes, it does live to this day. It is called the Ennis Brown House. And it's changed hands several times throughout the years, but there was it back in the 1950s. This is it. Boop. 60 years later. Same thing. All together now. Back then, now. Back then, now. Back then, now. You're welcome. And it overlooks LA. Do I want to live there someday when I am a rich and psychotic older person? Yes. Yes, I do. 3. This film influenced your heroes. Whatever your hero is, if you're a fan of, let's say, Elvira. Oh yes, Cassandra Peterson, aka Elvira, cited this film as her first horror film that she ever saw when she was younger. When she was a kid, she said back in like second grade, one of her family members took her to go see this film. And it really started her love of horror films. She started asking for different figurines to paint of different Universal monsters and all these, and it started her on her path, which eventually made her create the character Elvira. You're welcome. John Waters, oh yes, he too was obsessed with this film. He was obsessed with Vincent Price. He once said that he actually prayed that he would wake up someday and become Vincent Price. And if you look at his mustache and his styling and the way he carries himself, he's kind of a Baltimore Vincent Price. I'm not saying, but I'm just saying. Also, the idea of making people talk about films via gimmicks and all that. What do you think him making early shocking films was all about? It made people talk about his films, and hence, go see them. 4. Vincent Price was an LGBT ally and posthumous icon. So, Vincent Price, aside from being hot as a younger dude, yeah, drink it in. I'm not saying that I had a lot of fun making art of Vincent Price checking out Vincent Price, but I like making Vincent Price check out Vincent Price. Anyway, back in the day, Vincent Price was rumored to be one of those famous Hollywood secrets where he might have had lovers that were male, but he was married to various women and various other rumors about him. But years later, posthumously, his daughter, Victoria Price, came out as lesbian, and she came out to him, and years after his death, she wrote a book about him and said that when she came out to her father, he was very, very understanding, and basically came out to her in turn saying, oh, well, I understand. I used to have relationships with men, and my previous wives weren't okay with that or were very upset or jealous about the fact that I used to have those relationships and and she has said that basically he has told her everything but explicit details about him sleeping with men or not. That's right, your spooky favorite icon is a spooky bisexual icon. And last but not least, that brings us to today's film. Let me go ahead and get everything started here. My cat, Mishka, he wants to go outside, but he can't go outside. Because if I left him out there, he wouldn't be able to poop. This is my cat, Mishka, everybody. If you haven't seen him, let me move my microphone. Whoop. Hi, Mishka. Bam. He's very vocal. He's very strange. So if you hear meowing throughout tonight's presentation, that's what's up. So go ahead and get yourself a beverage or any snack or whatnot, and we'll go ahead and be getting this film started. By the way, if you go ahead and follow me, if the link is still working properly, you will end up existing on this video. Your name will pop up in the subscriber box, and it will add to my counter. I have this counter going, trying to hopefully make myself a real YouTuber. YouTube doesn't treat you nicely as they do someone that has at least 1,000 subscribers. So I'm trying to reach that 1,000 subscriber mark so I can have all sorts of power tools and moves and things I want to do on this channel. I'm checking out the chat room right now. Yay! Hi, Amy. Hi, Scott. I want a framed barf bag too. OMG, LOL. So yeah, let's get things started with this film. This is the classic. Oop. We're now experiencing technical difficulties. Hold for show. Please note that Logan is a fully prepared professional, and things are fine at all times. This is fine. Everything's fine. I know, I agree. All right. This should be a working copy of House on Haunted Hill. Enjoy. Nope. And That isn't what I wanted. It's not working. I know. I'm just as angry as I am too about this. Okay. I'm gonna make this work. I'm gonna make this work. Okay. Screenshot of Vincent Price looking smarthy. Hold for show. And we're gonna make this work. It doesn't like it when it doesn't work. I don't know why it's doing that. Boom. There we are. All right. This, without further ado, let me go ahead and crank up the audio a little bit. It's going to be loud at first, and that's okay. This is the classic House on Haunted Hill. Enjoy. Wait for it. Yeah. You're not experiencing bad effects. This is really how the film starts. With a blank screen and just sound effects.
The ghosts are moving tonight.
Yes, they are.
Hungry.
Uh-huh.
May I introduce myself?
No.
I'm Watson Pritchard.
Okay.
In just a minute, I'll show you the only really haunted house in the world. Since it was built a century ago, 7 people, including my brother, have been murdered in it. Since then,
Yes.
I've owned the house. I've only spent one night there, and when they found me in the morning, I was almost dead.
Ooh, hey Vincent.
I'm Frederick Lauren,
Yeah, you are.
and I've rented the house on Haunted Hill tonight so that my wife can give a party.
Yes, Queen.
A haunted house party.
Work.
She's so amusing.
She is.
There'll be food and drink and ghosts,
Hey.
and perhaps even a few murders. You're all invited. If any of you will spend the next 12 hours in this house, I'll give you each $10,000. Or your next of kin in case you don't survive.
Brr, 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 brr.
Ah, but here come our other guests.
I'm not saying that this is the premise for Drag
It
Race,
was my wife's idea to have our guests come in funeral cars.
but this is the premise for Drag Race.
She's so amusing. Her sense of humor is, shall we say, original. I dreamed up the hearse. It's empty now, but after a night in the house on Haunted Hill, who knows? This is Lance Schroeder, a test pilot, so no doubt a brave man. But don't you think you can be much braver if you're paid for it?
Yeah.
And I happen to know that Lance needs the 10,000 I'll give him, if he's brave enough to stay all night. This is Ruth Bridges. You've no doubt read her column in the newspapers.
Yeah.
She says her reason for coming to the party is to write a feature article on ghosts. She's also desperate for money,
Escándalo.
gambles. You've already met Watson Pritchard, a man living in mortal fear of a house, and yet he is risking his life to spend another night here. I wonder why. He says for money.
I say
This is
for money.
Dr. David Trent, a psychiatrist.
Hey, Dr. David Trent.
He claims that my ghost will help his work on hysteria. But don't you see a little touch of greed there?
Just a touch.
Around the mouth and eyes.
A taste.
This
I
is
want
Nora
to,
Manning.
point out things around the
I
mouth
picked
and the
her from the
eyes
thousands
for
of people who
someone.
work for me because she needed the 10,000 more than most. Supports her whole family. Isn't she pretty? The party's starting now.
So with
And you
inflation,
have until midnight to find the house on Haunted Hill.
Okay, so with inflation, I read somewhere that it's almost like $80,000 to $90,000. So it, back then, 59, it was a nice chunk of money. Also, you're gonna see parallels between this and Clue. Clue isn't a direct send-up of House on Haunted Hill, but they are so many references, including the proportion of people, how many people, how they get weapons later. You're gonna see who the person is, the archetype that they are. It's very out there. It's really neat. Not like I'm also obsessed with the movie Clue, but I'm also obsessed with the movie Clue. Oh, the board game Cluedo, I believe this is me talking out of my back of my trivia head. I want to swear it came out in the 70s in Japan. Either 60s or 70s in Japan, and then we translated it over here. Oh, the board game... Yeah. No? I'm looking that up right now. I'm gonna look that up for you. Yeah, the Foppy Vost's accent. The falling chandelier. You're seeing all the things. And it being like an elaborate trap to get somebody. Like, it's a whole thing. Okay, the original Clue was 43 from England. I thought it came over to Japan. And that's where we got the... Oh. Okay, no. It wasn't Japan at all. By the way, the interiors of this are an actual soundstage. This is not what the interior of the house look like.
It isn't a very warm welcome, is it?
Only the ghosts in this house are glad we're here.
Are we all strangers to each other? Don't you two know each other?
I'm afraid I don't even know your name.
I'm Nora Manning.
Lance Schroeder.
Is Frederick Lauren a friend of yours?
I've heard of him, but I've never met him.
I work for one of his companies, but I've never seen him.
I've never met the man either. Just a phone call. Do you know him?
No,
Well, then you're the only one of us who does.
I don't know him. All the details about renting the house were done by mail.
He's quite wealthy, isn't he?
Millions.
And 5 wives, I believe.
4, I think, so far.
A $50,000 party for only 5 people is a little steep, even for a millionaire.
Well, if I were going to haunt anybody, this would certainly be the house I'd do it in.
Dun dun dun.
Who closed the door?
The shadow knows.
This thing's made of solid steel.
Oh. All the connections. Miss Price, if you nasty. By the way, please note we have a nice, high-quality rip of this film today.
Our guests are here, unfortunately still alive. Is your face on yet?
Dust and dirt everywhere, and the water barely trickles.
Couldn't you have had the place cleaned?
I love her glamour mullet.
Never tidy up. And that's a very fetching outfit, but hardly suitable for a party.
I'm not going to the party.
The spend the night ghost party was your idea, remember? Since it's going to cost me $50,000, I want you to have fun.
The party was my idea until you invited all the guests. Why all these strangers? Why none of our friends?
Friends? Do we have any friends?
No, your jealousy took care of that.
I had a reason for inviting each guest. I wanted kind of a cross-section. From psychiatrist to typist, and from drunk to jet pilot. They share one thing. They all need money. Now let's see if they're brave enough to earn it.
And you call this a party?
Could be.
Why do you always do that? It spoils the champagne.
It might explode.
Never does.
Would you guarantee that?
That isn't funny, Frederick.
Make a good headline. Playboy kills wife with champagne cork.
Absolutely cannot.
Will you join me?
No, thank you.
Yes.
Just a sip might improve your humor.
My humor is fine, thanks. And I haven't poisoned it.
It's always good to know that. Have some. You'll enjoy the party more. Go on.
You better get that mirror. For those of you just joining us,
And I'm not going to the party.
in the presentation I had
All my
photos
wives,
of
you're the least
Vincent Price when he was younger,
still
and he
alive.
was even hotter. Like,
Would you go away for $1 million, tax-free? You want it all, don't you?
I deserve it all. Your jealousy isn't tax-free.
yeah.
And your possessiveness is maddening.
If ever a man had grounds for divorce,
No bubbles.
That can't prove them.
the time will come. You'll slip up one of these days,
Think so?
if I live long enough. You remember the fun we had when you poisoned me?
Something you ate, the doctor said.
Yes.
The
Arsenic
darkest
on the rocks.
fucking lines.
Annabelle. You'd do it again if you thought you could get away with it, wouldn't you?
Darling, what makes you think that?
Something about you. I hear that hanging is very uncomfortable, in case you get any more ideas.
Mm.
Don't let the ghosts and the ghouls disturb you, darling.
Darling, the only ghoul in the house is you.
And don't sit up all night thinking of ways to get rid of me. It makes wrinkles.
That is the best read I think I've heard in years. Don't stay up all night thinking about ways to get rid of me. You'll
This
get
is what
wrinkles.
she used on my brother and her sister. Hacked them to pieces. We found parts of the bodies all over the house, in places you wouldn't think. The funny thing is the heads have never been found. Hands and feet and things like that. But no heads.
The
No
wife,
heads.
probably in a rage, threatened her husband with a knife and then,
No
carried
kids.
away by hysteria, took a swing at him and simply went on from there.
She certainly went on. How many people did she kill, Mr. Pritchard?
Only two. Her husband and her sister. No one else was here.
So there are two loose heads just floating around in here somewhere?
You can hear them at night. They whisper to each other and then cry.
Since our host isn't here, would anyone care to mix me a drink?
Certainly.
So
what
the-
will you have?
Gomez Morticia banter. This actually, I mean,
Good evening.
Adam's Family predates it, technically.
I'm your host, Frederick Lawrence.
If I'm not wrong.
We're all strangers to
saying
each
things.
other. Let's get acquainted with the drink, shall we?
Mr. Lauren,
Unless I look it up now.
I
'Cause I was
advise you to
wrong.
call this party off now. The ghosts
Yes.
are already moving, and that's a bad sign.
Predates.
Let me apologize for my wife. She'll join us later. What do you have,
Scotch and.
Doctor?
I'll have the same.
Now, before the party begins, let's go over the details. The caretakers will leave at midnight, locking us in here until they come back in the morning. Once the door is locked, there's no way out.
I'm going to turn up the film a
The
bit.
windows have bars that a jail would
There
be
we are.
proud of. And the only door to the outside locks like a vault. There's no electricity, no phone, no one within miles. So, no way to call for help.
Like a coffin.
Yes.
So if any of you decide not to stay for the party, you must let me know before midnight.
Spookity spook
Of course,
spook.
if you leave, I shan't be able to pay you anything.
I shan't.
I'm interested in your reasons for this, party. Aside from the pleasant company.
Ghosts, Doctor. I think everyone wonders what they would do if they saw a ghost. And now my wife has given us all the opportunity to find out.
Amusing. Ghosts, etc., being only creations of hysteria, your party should be a success.
Well, Pritchard here promises us genuine ghosts.
7 now. Maybe more before morning.
He had to, like,
That's cheerful.
check.
4 men have been murdered in this house. And 3 women.
You planned your party very well, Mr. Loren. 4 of us are men, 3 are women. A ghost for everybody.
Well.
And Pritchard, why don't you take us on a tour through the house and let's see what happens, huh?
Let's see what happens. Vincent Price's transatlantic Atlantic accent is a full mood.
See that stain?
No.
Blood.
Oh.
A young girl was killed here. And whatever got her wasn't human. Don't stand there.
What do you mean? Where?
The Bosco syrup on her hand.
It's too late. They've marked you.
Ridiculous. The roof probably leaks.
Oh, that must be what it is. Who would want to haunt me?
I would say any self-respecting male ghost.
I hope it doesn't come back.
Well, Mr. Pritchard, you're the life of the party.
They've
He hasn't
marked
even
you.
started yet. Wasn't there a man who threw his wife into a wine vat or something?
That was in the cellar.
I'm gonna
There's
wander
been a murder
the
almost
local
every place in
bathhouse
this house.
and just walk over to people and be like, they marked you. Just keep going.
All this belonged to a Mr. Norton, who didn't die here. He was electrocuted later. Mr. Norton did a good deal of experimenting with wines, but his wife didn't think it was any good. So he filled the vat with acid and threw her in. She was supposed to stay down.
But what
The
happened?
bones came up.
Oh.
It's a funny thing, but none of the murders here were just ordinary. Just shooting or stabbing. They've all been sort of wild,
Sort of.
violent, and different.
Not entirely.
God, she didn't fall in.
You mean there's still acid in there?
I mean. This is the spookiest bullshit. Just like a rat trap. Bloop. I like that he drops it from such a high height to make it
Destroys
splash.
everything with hair and flesh. Just leaves the bones.
Hold on, this side. Ooh. Oh, Lord.
My, it's dry and dusty down here.
It is.
Well, there's a cure for that upstairs. Come on.
How'd you get invited to this party? No. Oh, go on. I mean, what did he tell you?
Mr. Lawrence said everybody'd get $10,000.
Yes.
But he didn't say anything about being locked in.
No.
He just made a deal with me on the phone, but nothing about having to stay.
Aren't you going to stay?
If I don't, I lose $10,000.
I'm going to stay too. $10,000.
Yeah. You believe in ghosts?
I don't know.
Well, I agree with what that doc says. You can spook yourself. I've done it in planes. Seen things that weren't really there. Or were they? What are you going to do with your 10,000? If we get it.
What do you mean, if we get it? Won't he pay us if we stay?
Ah, sure he will. 10,000 is no more to him than a nickel is to us.
Oh, the wine is
We're in
down
an
there
automobile
as
accident.
a
Now I'm the only one in the family who can make any
because
money.
the house used to be owned by a winemaker,
Boy, I've never seen
and
so many
the
doors.
wife didn't like the wine, so he got angry and filled it with acid instead. It is the thinnest
Closet?
justification. Yeah, there it is in the chat room.
Bottles.
Does it go anywhere?
No.
Lance! Lance!
Spooky, spooky. I cannot tell you how much I live for this character. She gives you the best faces. Oh no, we don't have a jump scare yet. Not yet.
Please! Lance is gone, and there's a ghost.
See what I mean?
Please, come on!
Did she say Lance is gone? Gone where?
And Pritchard is just having the full moment. He's like, ah, this again.
We'll have to break it down. It's locked.
Huh? You all right? Nothing that money won't cure. I must have bumped my head.
And the only way you could bump your head in here is to run head on into the wall. You didn't do that, did you? Let's get a bandage on that.
I wonder why they didn't kill him.
Pritchard is a spooky Wonka.
He didn't bump his head. They hit him.
Theremin for the win. By the way, the like spooky sound effect opening to this film, plus some of the soundtrack effects that they do, really inspired the haunted house soundtrack craze of the 60s and
When you
70s
came
and
in, you said
80s,
something about a ghost.
There was
where you get a whole album and you play
What
it
did
at the
it look
background
like?
of your haunted house
Tell you-
party.
It was wearing a black thing that went all the way to the floor.
Weren't you a little frightened at the time?
Well, yes.
That, Mr. Lauren, is hysteria.
But then, Doctor, how do you explain what happened to Lance? Was that hysteria, too?
You better get that checked in a day or so.
Yes.
Thanks, Doc.
Wait for me in the hall.
Okay. That uncorking sound
Ghosts
was
are coming closer, Mr. Lawrence.
vivid.
You really believe in your pet ghost, don't you, Pritchard?
Before the night's over, you will, too.
Would you like a drink, Lance?
No, thanks.
I'd like one. Scotch and. Mr. Lauren, are you really going to pay anyone who stays all night?
Certainly. $10,000.
Will there be much red tape or delay?
In a hurry, dear?
Frankly, yes. Or frantically.
There you are, my dear.
Someone or something was in here when I came in. But where? And if the door was locked, how did it get out? What you saw might have been a ghost, Nora, but what was in here with me was no ghost.
I don't know. I was so scared.
Does it sound different to you?
Yes.
Three, 6, 9, 12. 12 feet.
Mm.
Three, 6. Now, I'm going to knock on the other wall. When you hear me, you knock on this wall.
Knock 3 times on the spooky wall if you hear me.
Tap lower down.
Tap lower down. If the answer is no. There's your jump scare. And there goes Willem on her hover round. It makes me so happy. Just
Where'd it come from?
From in here.
like, really?
What if it ran out of here? I'd have seen it.
Lance, it doesn't run. It just floats.
Yeah, but why didn't I see it?
You don't believe me.
How can I?
The way that shot, the opening of the door looked like the stairs were more door. Like, no.
I'm Annabelle Lauren.
Come on, Theremin. Woo!
You must be Miss Manning.
This is my
I
glamour
realize
mullet.
This is very unusual, and I'm afraid very dull party. Wouldn't you like to freshen up?
Come. I have theremins installed in all my bathrooms.
This is your room. Depressing, isn't it?
I doubt if I'll spend much time here.
It's going to rain. Perfect atmosphere for my husband's party. Why did you come here?
He said he'd give me $10,000.
Why did he pick you?
I don't know. My supervisor just came and said I'd been invited.
Supervisor.
How long have you known my husband?
I just met him tonight.
So? Why you?
Well,
What were you doing wandering around by yourself?
Well, I was in the cellar with Lance.
Annabelle is the
Mr.
most
Schroeder.
evil fucking character.
I just left, that's all.
Don't do it again. Don't go anywhere in this house by yourself.
Ever.
Now fix your face and I'll come by for you in a few minutes.
But
You're in danger. We all are.
You in danger, Molly.
I hope for your sake you never find out. I'm Annabelle Lauren. Were you looking for something?
Not exactly.
Are you the doctor?
No, I'm Lance Schroeder.
The pilot. You've hurt yourself.
Oh, it's just a bump on the head. Which is my room?
I believe this is it.
Thank you, Mrs. Lauren.
Annabelle, Lance. You were with the young girl in the cellar. Why was she so upset?
Was she?
And you don't look like the type to go around bumping his head. What really happened, Lance?
Well, Nora thought she saw a ghost, but I didn't see anything.
She was just frightened then.
And mad at me, I think. I kidded her about it.
Dun dun dun.
I wouldn't joke about anything else that happens here tonight.
Now, don't tell me you're taking all this seriously.
Aren't you?
Well, I'd like to find out what hit me.
Lance. If I need help, may I count on you?
Sure, I guess so. Look, what's going on here anyway? I mean, what is with this party bit?
This is no
Yes,
party. He's
I
planning.
fully support
Your husband?
people doing this with chamomile tea. You can do it any drinking game you want.
50,000.
Money doesn't mean anything. He has a reason for getting us all up here to this dreadful old house.
Well, what for? He doesn't even know us.
Maybe that's exactly why you're here.
Well, what can he get away with?
Oh, he thinks that big money like his can get away with anything. You know, of course, that I'm his fourth wife. The first simply disappeared. The other two died. Lance, I don't want to join them.
You mean he,
Oh, his doctor said they died of heart attacks. 2 girls in their 20s.
Well, what can he do?
My husband is sometimes insane with jealousy. Nothing matters to him then.
Insane with jealousy.
Please be careful.
Insane.
Would he hurt you?
He would kill me if he could.
Oh, but he can. And he will. No. Maybe. No.
Annabelle, you're missing all the fun.
The nonchalant hair
Nora
brushing.
Manning was almost killed by a falling chandelier. The pilot bashed his head in.
Is he badly hurt?
The Saturnine psychiatrist bandaged him up. Don't you want to go and console him, as you do most men,
Whoop!
in your fashion?
You're so clever, Frederick.
Vincent Price
I lie
reading
awake
people.
nights wondering why I married you. It was rather a mistake.
You didn't marry me, dear. I married you. Unpleasant, but no mistake.
Hurry up.
Frederick, for the last time, I'm not going to your party.
And for the last time, it's not my party, but yours. And you are going.
I am not.
You ready, dear?
No.
Are you ready, dear?
Yes, damn you.
I'm not saying that I want
Adore
Vincent.
me as much if I were cool.
I'm not
Or do you
saying
wanna
that
be
I
for
want
nothing?
Vincent Price to establish a safe word, but yeah. I want Vincent Price
Almost
to
time
establish
lock
a
up the
safe
house.
word.
Then your party will really begin. I wonder how it'll end.
Yes! Yes!
It's close to midnight, Lance.
Okay. I'll be down in a minute.
Who is it?
Your host, my dear. It's almost midnight, Nora. We're all going to get together down in the living room.
All right, Mr. Lloyd. I'll be right down.
No! Oh my god. This character. She's just going through it so many times.
Come with us. Come with us before he kills you.
But like, who's us?
Where's Nora? Miss Manning.
Oh my god, that head totally was the Geico caveman.
Don't want to stay here.
Nora, what happened?
Dun-dun-dun-dun. Dun-dun-dun-dun. Dun-dun-dun-dun.
That's
Dun-dun-dun-dun.
Jonas Slides and his wife.
Jonas.
They've been caretakers here for years.
They're the Jonas
She's blind, you know.
I'm not going to stay here.
siblings.
Well, Doctor, it looks like we have a real case of hysteria on our hands.
I think she's just a little upset, not hysterical.
Walking into the club like,
Hello, my dear.
Hi.
This is my wife. These are our guests. Ruth Bridges, Dr. Trent. You know Watson Pritchard, of course.
I just
Nora
want to
Manning,
hold someone
and,
like that. Just
This is Lance Schroeder.
Operation Human Shield. Come,
Get me out of here.
look at our little baby
What about
coffins.
the 10,000?
I don't care. He wants to kill me.
Who wants to kill you?
Mr. Lauren.
May I have your attention, please? I think you all remember the bargain we made about staying all night. $10,000 apiece.
Yes.
If any of you don't survive, $50,000 will be divided amongst the rest of you. If I should die, you will be paid by my estate. When the door is locked from the outside by the caretakers, we'll all be forced to stay in this house until morning. If any of you decide not to stay, you must leave with the caretakers now. You won't have a chance to change your minds later, because there'll be no way to get out.
I don't want to stay.
Wait.
Worst Foley. By the way, that's the beginning, middle, and end of you seeing those caretakers ever again in the rest of this film. That's it. The blind lady was a jump scare.
It isn't midnight yet. Who told them they could leave?
They never leave before midnight.
Well, they've gone now. I was going to ask you whether you wanted to stay or not, but it seems that the caretakers have made the decision for you. We're all locked in now.
But I don't want to stay.
I'm sorry, my dear, but it's too late now.
Darling, haven't you had enough of the silly game?
That's like the best
Get
customer
some
service
cards
back
here
and
for
forth.
these people and let them go
I'm
home.
sorry, my dear, but it's
But
too
pay
late
them
now.
first.
This is your party, remember? In spite of my wife's faith in my ability to do the impossible, we will all have to stay in this house until 8 o'clock in the morning. But we have some party favors for you in these little coffins.
Yes. Boop. Boop. Boop.
This is my wife's idea. I must say, I think it's rather dangerous. I suppose you all know how to use one of these things, but in case you don't, you just press down on this lever with your thumb and then pull the trigger.
Small.
You see, they're loaded.
These are no good against the dead, only the living.
Doctor?
I celebrated how much of a true believer Pritchard is for this whole thing.
Nora?
Oh, it was supposed to be the wind
Go ahead,
whistling.
take it.
Supposed to be.
Miss Bridges?
Like, I know that
Here's
the...
yours, dear.
don't need it.
that the hammer isn't pulled
Sure
back.
idea.
But like
Who knows, you may want to use it on me before this night is over.
handing it like that, like that's not safe. Like,
Throw these guns away. They won't do you any good.
I agree with Pritchard on that point, although not for the same reason.
Dr. Trent, don't you approve of our little party favors?
Suppose Nora had had a gun when she mistook the blind woman for a ghost.
I don't think anyone else is going to walk around in total darkness.
Oh, I'm sure we're not going to go running around the house shooting each other, aren't you?
Who knows? Fear makes people do amazing things.
hmm.
Mr. Pritchard,
Yes.
you said your sister-in-law killed a man and a woman here and cut them up? You said they found hands and feet, but they never found any heads. Would you like to see one of those heads? Would you all like to see one of those heads? Well, then, just follow me.
She's so like extreme. Would you like to see one of those heads? Would you like to see? Would all of you like to see one of those heads?
Darling,
Girl.
I really don't need this.
Oh, I am not MST3King Trump because he doesn't deserve the viewers. Every single one of his press junkets is a campaign rally,
Just go look in my suitcase.
and I refuse to give him any viewers. Any. Don't you hate it when your head goes missing?
But it was in there. A woman's head.
Nora, I think you're a little upset. Would you care for a sedative?
Get out! Get out, all of you! All of you, get out of here and leave me alone! Just get out of here!
She's like the screamer of the entire
All right to
film.
leave her by herself, Doctor?
I wish she'd taken the sedative.
Well, what do you suppose she thought she saw?
They're closing in on her.
Look, Doc, I think somebody ought to stay with her.
There could be 1 million people around her. But if they wanted her, they'd get her.
What if he's right?
He's too drunk to know what he's talking about.
I wonder.
Mm.
I'll join you in a minute.
Do you think it would do any good if you went in and talked to her?
Well, do you think there really was a head in her suitcase?
I don't know.
A thing like that would put me right over the edge.
But would you sort of stay up here, I mean, in case she needs help?
All right. I'll be in my room. Just call it.
Thanks.
Are you sure there are only 7 people in this house?
Positive. Except for the ghosts.
Wait.
I don't believe in ghosts, nor in frightening women. In Nora's case, it's gone far enough. Perhaps too far.
What do you suggest we do about it, Doctor?
Don't frighten her anymore.
Nora? Nora? Nora?
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Nora! Nora! What do you know about this?
They've taken her. In a little while, she'll be one of them.
Where's Nora? Where is she?
It's too late. It's too late.
You'll never find her again.
Pritchard, if you know where she is, you better tell me now.
She's gone. She's gone with them. And there's nothing you can do about it.
Nothing. Nothing, tra-la-la. Oh, well, that happened.
Lay her down.
There's always my way. Oh, I'm late. Lance is everybody's party favor.
She's dead, Mr. Lauren.
So peaceful.
Your wife hanged herself.
Suicide.
Nora,
Please hide me. Please hide me.
what's the matter?
Hide me. He tried to kill me. He grabbed me and choked me and put me in that room.
Hi.
And then he went away and left me.
Who?
He thought I was dead.
Who?
Mr. Lord.
Are you sure about this?
I don't know. It was dark, but it must have been him.
Has anybody seen you since he left you?
Just keep on touching your
I
neck,
heard
girl.
some people in that room, but I went by and nobody saw me.
Mrs. Lauren is dead.
Get the Martellus! Get the Martellus!
Lauren said she committed suicide, but I think somebody killed her.
Him.
Ooh, there's 13 people watching right now. 13! Woo!
I'm sure you've come to the same conclusion I have.
Yeah, I think so.
Well, let's all have a meeting, discuss what to do. The living room?
Okay, in a minute. I've got to go downstairs. Now, you lock yourself in here and don't let anybody know you're here. If he thinks you're dead, he won't come here. And I'll get back as soon as I can. You'll be all right. And if you have to, you use it.
Oh, she'll use that. I need to see if 13 Ghosts is in public domain as well. That'd be awesome. Do the whole viewer thing with the blue and the red. For those that don't know, William Castle did another film, 13 Ghosts, the original. And everyone would get these almost like 3D glasses where like one was red, one was blue, and you like covered up like, all right, do I want to see the ghosts or not see the ghosts? And of course you wanted to see the ghosts. But yeah, the blue would make them disappear, the red would make them appear.
So greedy. So cold.
I just want to read A Corpse for Filth.
What are you doing in here?
Wait. Don't wait.
What do you mean coming in here?
I didn't want them to take her away.
You're drunk.
They will if you don't watch her.
You're drunk. All right, out with it, Bridget. Why did you come into this room?
I'm the only one who understands.
Understands what?
Your wife isn't there anymore. She's already joined them.
Now, Bridget, I've had enough of your spook talk. Get out, you sot, and don't come back into this room again.
You sot. Oh, man. I'm not saying that Vincent Price, like, hair pulls and strangles his way to sexy, but he completely hair pulls and strangles his way to sexy in this entire film. I have many feelings.
What's her name?
Many.
Nora.
I didn't disturb her since I don't think this concerns her.
No, you're right.
Mr. Lauren, isn't there some way we can get out of this house now?
No, none at all.
We could try breaking out.
The only door to the outside is made of steel. The bars of the windows are set in solid stone. We gotta stay.
You have
I'm not
to.
afraid of your ghosts, Bridget. But I am afraid. When we came here a few hours ago, the only thing we had in common was the $10,000 we'd get. Now, however, we share something else. The death of Mrs. Lauren.
Oh, well, in that case.
So far tonight, one of us was almost killed by a falling chandelier. One of us was mysteriously slugged. One of us has been driven to the brink of absolute hysteria. And one of us is dead. Were these accidents?
One of us watching.
Suicide?
us.
And we must stay here for 6 more hours.
6 hours.
Oh.
6 of us. Time enough.
Who will be next? How will it happen?
Let me ask you a question, Doctor. You were the first one to see my wife there. Did you also see anything that she could have climbed up on and then jumped?
No.
Did any of you? There was nothing. How then did she get up there?
Nothing.
High.
Exactly,
Nothing,
Mr. Lauren.
tra-la-la.
How? She couldn't have pulled herself up there. She couldn't have dropped from the ceiling. Do you think your wife killed herself?
No. She was murdered.
Oh
one of
my
you.
God.
Or you, Mr. Lauren?
The painting in the room has.
To deliberately kill
picture
someone, you must
that
have a
looks like
reason.
his wife.
We were all strangers to your wife.
Yeah, it's
Only
supposed to be
you
the
had
wife
a
of the
motive
first
for
owner.
murder.
What husband hasn't at some time wanted to kill his wife? What husband hasn't had
Yes.
1,000 opportunities to do it in such a way so that he'd never be suspected?
In my
I'm not
opening
such a fool as to
presentation,
hang
I have
my
a whole
wife
thing
from
about the
the ceiling
tingler,
by a rope.
which you can see
Fact
on
remains
this
that
video
you or one of us
when it restarts at the
murdered
very,
Mrs.
very
Lauren.
end.
And that's a matter for the police.
So how do we get the police?
That's my point. We can't until morning. What began as a silly party given by an eccentric has now involved us all in murder.
How did she get so
Once
high?
Pritchard may be right. If another murder's in the works, let's stop it now.
Another murder.
Why not? Maybe one of us saw too much.
Why should even a millionaire want to give each of us $10,000 to spend one night in a gloomy old house? To see some ghosts, have a party? No.
Have you finished trying me, Doctor? And is the verdict guilty of murder?
Oh, this isn't getting us anywhere.
Have you
Somebody
finished trying
killed
me,
Mrs.
Doctor?
Lauren, we know that. One of us is guilty and the rest of us are innocent, okay?
He's so
What
evil.
we have to do for the next 6 hours is protect ourselves.
He's so
from each other.
evil.
You really think?
I don't think anything. I just know that I'm going to my room. And if anybody comes in, I'll shoot him. Or her.
And if we all stay in our rooms, we'll be safe. Because the innocent will have no reason to leave his room, and the guilty will admit his guilt if he or she does.
And we all have guns. And we're all agreed.
Oh, I wish this night were over.
Rooms? Guns? I tell you, it doesn't make any difference. They aren't through with us yet.
Not yet.
What's the use of saying goodnight?
The way you say goodnight. Yeah, Pritchard is short.
Good night, Doctor.
Sad Vincent Price is sad. Dun dun dun. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun.
You okay? They've all gone to their rooms and locked themselves in.
Lance, I've been thinking. It was so dark down there. Maybe it wasn't Mr. Lorne.
It was him, all right. He tried to kill you, and he did kill his wife.
How can you be so sure?
She tried to warn me, asked me to help her. The doc thinks he's going to try and kill one of us.
It was Vincent
Now, there
Price
must be a way out of this place, and I'm going to find it and get the police
with
before
the
he
candlestick.
I'm going with you.
Let's be real. If it was going to be
Finds out you're
Vincent Price,
alive.
it would be with the candlestick.
does. No, Nora. You're safer here than any place else.
Oh, yeah.
Now just lock yourself in and keep quiet. If I find a way out, I'll come back and get you.
Dun-dun-dun-dun. All by myself. Don't wanna be all by myself. Is she gonna scream though? Is she gonna scream though? Oh. But she gonna hallucinate. Yes. Yes. Fully going through it. Riding high aboard the USS going through it. Just a rando hand. Rando hand. Do we need to explain it? No. I think we're alone now. Wanna anyone around? I think we're alone now. Alone now. All the spoop. All the spoop you can handle. Can't handle that either. I love the exterior shots of this. Ugh. Oh, if only to be.
An admission of guilt, Doctor?
Certainly not. There's either somebody else in this house or one of us has left his room. Did you hear anything?
Organ music?
That, and someone walking.
You got yours? Ready?
You look downstairs, and I'll look up here.
Why not together?
There may be only minutes, seconds left of someone's life.
We got
Why waste
together. I don't know if it's me just reading like all sorts of naughty things into this, or if it's just Vincent Price's vocal fry plus transatlantic accent, but like oof. Over and over again. Really though? Oh yes, my cat's been having a cameo throughout this whole thing. As the light settings change in here, and need to. There we go. She changed positions! Burn the witch!
It's almost over, darling. Every detail was perfect.
Oh shit. Oh shit. Plot twist, motherfucker. What you gonna do? What you gonna do?
What's happening?
We've done it. A perfect crime. Beautiful.
Has she killed him?
Not yet. But she will.
Get me out of this hanging harness.
Oh.
What's taking that girl so long? What time is it?
See how that
I couldn't
works?
get Nora to want to protect herself with a gun. But after you appeared at the window, everything began to work just as we had planned. You were wonderful. Just the touch that finally drove her into complete hysteria.
Complete
What's all about timing,
hysteria.
darling? Where's Nora now? What's happening?
On her way to the cellar. So scared she'll shoot the first thing that moves.
And Frederick?
On his way to the cellar, too.
David, are you sure none of them will suspect us?
Of what? An hysterical girl accidentally shoots somebody? Who would suspect that we planned it that way, that we drove her to it?
What about my suicide?
But just a ghost party gag. We'll claim it was a dummy since I'm the only one who touched you.
And the caretakers?
But they had no idea what they were really doing.
I like that it's
What about
her,
Nora?
like,
She's not stupid, you know.
Darling, believe me, everything we've planned is working.
figuring all this out now.
Nora is sure Frederick murdered you. She thinks Frederick attacked her in the cellar, not me. And now Nora's almost out of her mind with fear. The heads, the music, you're hanging. I tell you, when Frederick walks in there, she'll shoot him.
It's taking too long. David, you ought to be there.
When you hear the shot, come down to the cellar.
Yes. Spoopy. She gonna get you. She gonna get you. She gonna get you. No, Nora. Nora. How they gonna do you like that, Vincent? How they gonna do you like that? Like, mm-mm. And now for the extra spoopy part. The extra spoopy part. Well, that isn't what I expected. Nothing bad happened there. Nothing at all. Nothing tra-la-la.
David? David?
Dun dun dun. Are you ready for the twist? Are you ready for the twist? Oh, y'all wanted a twist. Bum bum bum. Are you ready for Emergo? Cause we emergoing. Emergo!
At last you've got it all. Everything I have. Even my life. But you're not going to live to enjoy it. Come with me, murderess. Come with me.
Did that feel authentic? Spoop, spoop, spoop. Spoop, spoop. Reunited, and it feels so good. You weren't ready for Emergo. You thought you were ready for Emergo, but you weren't ready for Emergo.
Good night, Doctor. Good night, Annabelle.
Yes.
The crime you two planned was indeed perfect. Only the victim is alive and the murderers are not. It's a pity you didn't know when you started your game of murder that I was playing too.
Vincent Price gonna read your
There
ass.
must be some way to get in here.
Oh, it's right along here somewhere.
Lance! I've shot Mr. Lorne. He's down in the wine cellar.
Alive.
I don't think so. It's him. He's alive.
You didn't shoot anyone, my dear. I loaded your gun with blanks.
Yes.
I can tell you all now.
He got
Lance
you.
and my wife were planning to kill me. They failed. Trent tried to throw me in the vat. My wife stumbled and fell. I'm ready for justice to decide if I'm innocent or guilty.
You weren't ready for the plot twist. You weren't ready for the plot twist.
Now there are 9. There'll be more, many more. They're coming for me now. And then they'll come for you.
Goodbye, farewell, adios and good night. Adio, adio to you and you and you. Bum ba bum 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 ba dum bum bum boom. The skeleton portrayed by himself. Yes, Ruth Bridgers was Julie Mitchum, Robert Mitchum's sister, in this whole thing. Did you guys enjoy that? Was that everything you wanted? Everything you needed? Let me go back to this. So that was House on Haunted Hill, the classic original starring Vincent Price, with all the bells and whistles of Emergo as done by the technology I now wield for this whole thing. So yeah, what did you guys think of that? Did you see anything that you've seen repurposed by other films? Did you notice anything that was just really obvious and over the top and you can't believe that they actually did that back then? Please let me know in the chat room. I like discussing this with people afterwards. Also, I plan on doing this if this time is good for everybody. And yeah, we had like 15 odd people here this week. And then last week, when I did Reefer Madness, we had almost like 20 odd people on a Monday morning or Monday afternoon. If Monday afternoons and Wednesday afternoons are good for people, I'm gonna do these on Mondays and or Wednesday afternoons. Tell me what films you would prefer to see coming up if you were to what's the word I'm looking for? If you were to be able to choose your own adventure or have any say in the programming that we're doing, please let me know in the comments what you would like to see happen for this. Especially if Mondays and Wednesdays work for people. Heck yes, I will bring that to people and it'll be awesome. Let me see if I can get this going. Let me see what the chat room says. Bam. So, even if you missed Reefer Madness, it's okay. So all these films that I've been screening all exist on my YouTube account. So one, if you're not a supporter already, go ahead and click support or click subscribe, and that'll make you theoretically pop up on my thing. I'm up to 305 subscribers, hopefully up to 1,000 sometime soon. So that's one. Kinky Hanging Harness. Yay, vote for Kinky Hanging Harness. Yeah, the 2000s remake is like its own complete thing. Yeah, so far I tried to do Santa Claus vs. the Martians, but that got screwed up. What was the other one? We did Night of the Living Dead, and then we did Reefer Madness, and then we did, Plan 9 from Outer Space as well. All from the confines of my quarantine hut. So I hope you guys are enjoying all of these. Let me see here. That did dissolve for the first time. Why? Never mind. Oh, okay. Dr. Tongue's House of Pancakes. Good. Thought the skeleton was Kate Moss. No, the skeleton was too heavy for that. Kinky Hanging Harness. I'm still into it. Oh, it's all good. Thank you for being here. Yeah, like I was saying, if you missed the earlier part of this presentation, as soon as the stream ends, it uploads the whole thing to YouTube. So you'll be able to see it yourself, see the beginning part of this, or share it to other friends, family, etc. that you think would be really cool. You can actually watch this with them, coordinate it. All these are public domain movies. The one that I couldn't get was Santa Claus vs. the Martians. It's public domain in America, but it's not public domain in other countries, and YouTube felt that. It tingled and shut down the entire stream. So unfortunately, that one cuts off as soon as my presentation is over. The little pre-show. Do multiple choice. Okay, so Rosemary's Baby. Actually, so Rosemary's Baby was produced by William Castle, the one that directed this one. He produced Rosemary's Baby. He was gonna direct it, but apparently the film studio changed their mind. I would love to do big name films like that, but it comes down to a rights thing. Public domain basically means that the copyright has either phased out, it never was filed correctly, etc. And that is required for these to be broadcastable, unfortunately. So, if it's not in the public domain, I unfortunately can't do the film. So that's the only requirement with those. Let me see what I can do here. Let's see. Request Spider Baby. I would love to see if Spider Baby is. I'm not sure if Spider Baby is. Carnival of Souls was requested. Yes, I want to do that. There's some better copies of that than not. I want to do next week The Brain That Wouldn't Die. I think that would be really fun, so stay tuned for that. If you're not a subscriber on my YouTube channel, subscribe, because it will yell at you when I do one of these live broadcasts. It will do yourself the favor. Also, when you, if you were to stalk me online at that link that I sent out earlier, let me make sure I'm sending it again. Bam! This link that I just shared in the chat room is a link where you can stalk me on all forms of social media, and if you put the notify me when they post, hit the bell, hit the subscribe, all that stuff that you hear online social media people say, will help and let you know when these things are coming up, and it'll show up in your feed and remind you. Glenn or Glenda. I think Glenn or Glenda might be in public domain. I did plan 9, so I think it might be as well. Ooh, the original Blob would be awesome. Child Bride, that would be interesting. Yes. Okay, so I used to be a big fan. There used to be this company called Something Weird Video, and they used to go and have all these Satanic Panic type films, and I loved them. So I'm hoping some of those might come through. Some of them might be already public domain, which would be lovely. Let's see what is going on here. Bam. Oh, well, okay, so that's not working. But, yay. The Brain That Wouldn't Die, not sure if a regular MST3K. Oh, yeah, no, I have a copy of Brain That Wouldn't Die. Yeah, no, Brain That Wouldn't Die is awesome. I actually did a live presentation of that years ago over at the venue, and audience members came dressed as the people from Brain That Wouldn't Die. One person came... my friend Beth came with a baking pan with the neck hole cut out and a little cowl, and she dressed up as the disembodied head in the pan, just wore black, and she just kind of walked around with the baking pan and a thing on her head. It'd be so good. Some of the Corman movies, Bucket of Blood. I wonder if Blood Feast is public domain. That would be oof. I wonder if YouTube would demonetize that. I mean, demonetization right now doesn't matter, but whatevs. Let me put on some background music while we're at it. Chat it up. Let me go to some of this. There we go. Ooh. Come on, loud background music. There we go. There. So I'm going to turn down that background music so it can just be in the background. So, by the way, the background music that I play before and after my streams are all done by this local artist named Chris Zabriskie. And all of his stuff is available below in the description of the videos. Let me see what else you guys are saying up in here. I know I can't do Lynch, unfortunately. I love David Lynch, but I can't. Let's see... Cannibal Holocaust, dear God. That would be that would be so intense to watch. It might be now. I know it was there were some questions as to rights or legality of that movie in the middle. Yeah, I like movies like this one, Brain That Wouldn't Die, because it's dark enough, to where it's ooh, spooky and fun, but it's not it's not actually scary, and it doesn't have problematic stuff, it still feels like a party. You're like not watching that being like, oh, why am I watching this film? I like bringing that vibe to things. So I hope that's evident in why I've been choosing some of these films. Yeah, let's see. Bucket of Blood. Oh, that's for Spooky Empire. It's a simple costume, and especially like if you like, hers was simple. If you went all out and bought like a erector set, like little like bolts and things, and constructed a whole thing and just wander around and say like, "Let me tie." Oh, old school horror fans would scream and get photos with you immediately. Yes, take that cosplay idea, run with it. 2000 Maniacs, yeah, it was made in St. Cloud. A lot of those old films. Oh, we've talked about doing the original Little Shop of Horrors. I looked into it, and I believe that is actually in the public domain for realsies. Ooh, Manos Hands of Fate. Okay, so I think that one was in public domain, and then it went back into rights holdership, for lack of a better term. So yeah, that would be awesome if no one has laid claim to it. Some of those movies go back and forth as to who owns it, who doesn't. They might have like an active claim out with some of the people that used to own it, and hence YouTube is erring on the side of caution and just like not letting anyone see any of it, which sucks. But it happens. Let me see. Guardians Hug. Yes! Dementia 13. Oh, Dementia 13. That would be interesting. Also, would you guys be interested in watching ephemera? Like, public health announcement films, films about, like, hygiene and, like, sex ed from the 1940s, because a lot of those films are public domain, and I personally love them. I just don't know if anyone else loves them as much as I do. They're so easy to make fun of, and they're just filled with automatic cringe moments, especially the way they were licensed public service announcements. They were meant to be seen, and there wasn't really licensing with it. It was like, hey, pay us $10 and we'll send you a film, and then you can play it everywhere. And now that those companies have gone away, no one is claiming them, especially because most of them were propaganda, and they don't want to claim them nowadays. So yeah, let me know if you think that would be fun. If you like watching a sexual hygiene film from the 1960s with me. Oh, Driver's Ed scary movies. God. Only if I can Zoom chat with someone that's in a band and we do a live cover of Warm Leatherette, then, and only then, can we do Driver's Ed films. Warm Leatherette. Oh, Lord. So, yeah. I like that so many people are into this. So, anyway, thank you again for tuning into this. I think I'm going to try to make this a once a week, if not twice a week thing. Movie Mondays and Weird Wednesdays, maybe. Come up with like a funny alliteration. Movie Monday, Weird Wednesday, just boop boop boop. Do them. Also, I'll plan on doing another gaming stream here sometime soon. Not tonight, but within the next couple days, because people seem to like that. Also, I just got, as you can see, my new setup in my room. Ooh, someone signed up. Hi, Sam. Thank you. See what happens when you subscribe? If you subscribe, boop, I pop up. Yay! Is that Sam from Killer Robots? Ooh. If so, Sam, say hi in the chat room. If it's Sam from elsewhere, I might be missing up last names. But anyway, yeah, if you enjoy all those ideas, please let me know, and we can play with some of those. It'll be fun. So yeah, I will be hopefully seeing you guys sometime soon. I'll be doing another one of those gaming streams. A couple of them, I've noticed other people doing ones where the person hosting just hosts and I watch and encourage you guys playing, and that's kind of fun. But we'll see how that all works out. Was it you, Sam? Yes. Anyway. So yeah. But yeah, otherwise, other than the ones where people play like Jackbox games and it's interactive, if you wanted to watch me just like play old school video games, I have that set up now. I can play some of my old favorite video games like Zelda or what was the old one? Beavis and Butthead. Yeah, there was a Beavis and Butthead Super Nintendo game. I'll play it. I'll play it if you guys want to watch that. Either here or other things. Yay! Thank you, Sam. If it's a Sam I'm thinking of, Sam is in a rock band called the Killer Robots and their performance art group, and I was briefly part of them as roadie / stand-in drummer. And by drummer, I mean person that wore a heavy costume and hit things. It was awesome. So, yeah, if you guys like seeing those two, I'll put those up here as well. So anyway, I'm going to sign off for tonight. I hope everyone has a lovely rest of their evening. Have a delicious breakfast or dinner or lunch or whatever part of the day it is for you. Thank you for tuning in here to my thing. Another shout out again to all my people that support me up in this heezy on Patreon and other ones. Thank you so much for supporting me on there. All of your support goes and actually gets things done as far as these projects. I have really nice lighting right now. Because of you guys. This is because of you guys. So anyone that is supporting me on Patreon or decides to throw a tip into my tip jar, thank you for all of that. You can do that by actually following, again, the link that I just threw up in the chat room. You can go ahead and follow that. Otherwise, subscribe and share this all to your friends. As soon as this video ends, you'll be able to share it to everybody. And if you missed a previous episode, you can go back and watch those. Those are all in my YouTube list as well. So thank you so much for supporting. Aww. No, thank you. I am a big... my big payoff on doing all of this theater weird stuff is knowing that I'm making people happy. And it makes me laugh and have fun, and I'm glad I can have you laugh and have fun. It's been hard. And I'm glad to support that. So thank you for the love in return. So yay! Hope everyone has a beautiful rest of their evening, and I will talk to you all soon. Have an awesome evening. Mwah! Be good people. Yeah.